Hey friends. I just had a lesson. Piano lesson with Madeline. My weekly, well not weekly, bi-weekly. I had one 2 weeks in a row this week because of scheduling. But man. So I had this experience. I wrote about this I talked about this last week. In my post about loving frustration. And I was talking about how the experience of frustration is built into learning because we are constantly called upon to take patterns that are habitual and that are like kind of grooves that we travel in easily and frustrate them so that we can build new ones. You know, the assumption is that those grooves are not the be-all, end-all, final ones we want to use for the rest of our lives. And on piano, this is just abundantly evident anytime we're learning a new piece, anytime we're tackling a new technical thing. And right now, I seem to be diving headlong into a bunch of these because, you know, it's like there's this pressure from Madeline that keeps stopping the flow before I really get rolling. And it's because she can see and I can observe in retrospect or, you know, sort of immediately after the fact, oh yeah, I see what's going on here. I see what I was doing. But it's a continual kind of checking the impulse, and kind of getting used to that until a new impulse. And the thing is, a new impulse takes a while to grow. A new groove is not one that is just going to happen right away. There's a process there. It takes time. And I'm finding more and more that when I can really lean into that, it's gold. I mean, today, a bunch of stuff, I was getting all these notes, all this feedback on all these different aspects of what I was doing. It was just about at the limit of what I could sort of integrate. But little by little, I just kept telling myself, no, just stop, just slow down, just keep pulling back, keep doing less. And as I little by little did less, sure enough, all of a sudden there's a new ease happening, a new sound coming out, a new kind of like a new movement in my arm and wrist, and a new sense of the keys. It was just remarkable how. And at the end of it, I was kind of like, okay, I see, like, here's the new thing coming through. But it also gave me an appreciation. You know, I'm spending a lot of time with Annalise right now. It's the summer, and I am getting some good daytimes with her and spending time at the swimming pool. She's learning how to swim, and she's learning a mile a minute all the time. And it's interesting to hear her when she's learning something. If I make a suggestion for, hey, what if you try it like this? She'll almost invariably say no. She'll say, no, I don't want to do it that way. Or alternately, she'll say, no, I already know how to do it that way. And this is her kind of like, I have various theories about what it might be, but it's basically her kind of drawing the limit of what she's willing to integrate, what she's willing to bite off right now. And it's also a sign of, I think, that feeling that I have when I'm practicing something or learning something new, which is I just want to do it the way I know how to do it. And, ultimately I'm a grown adult human. So I have a little bit more tolerance, and I think a little bit more capacity to objectify an experience of repeated frustration in service of a kind of learning that I've witnessed many times and that I know is possible and that I can even kind of incrementally experience as it's happening and appreciate as it's happening. So it therefore makes this kind of like repeated frustrating of my impulses, not just tolerable, but really exciting and really, really desirable. It doesn't mean it's not that there's not some intensity in there sometimes, but I get where it's going, and so I can surrender to it. And Annalise is still learning that. She's still learning that part of the journey. And, there's an interesting, we were reading something recently, a while back, about, it was in the New York Times or New Yorker or something. A parent was talking about how instead of affirming their child's accomplishments, in other words, instead of saying good job or well done, or kind of affirming when the kid gets something right or does something well, they instead affirm the moments of struggle. So you're supporting and bolstering the young person's sense that wrestling with a problem, which is essentially this process I'm talking about, this building a new neural pathway thing, but that feeling of before the neural pathway is quite there yet and it's not really working and it's hard, or it's a couple, if it's a language thing, it's like there's these different letters and these different sounds, and can I paste them all together into one word? Can I do that? And it takes a little while. That there's a struggle there. It's building new grooves, new cosmic grooves in that individual's young brain. And this article was basically saying that's the thing to affirm, because that's where the learning is happening. If we only affirm when someone has done well, then they're going to think that what they need to do more of is exhibit that they can do stuff well. There's a kind of like, because the struggle is never, the struggle can be fun. I think there are certain personality types in particular that really do enjoy that struggle, but by and large, that struggle is a struggle. It's work. It's the part that requires focus to be brought back. It's the part that involves frustration. It's sort of like it's the it's the hard part, And I've been reflecting. I think I've been gaining a new appreciation for that through my own learning right now, and through being in very close contact with Annalise and seeing her every day and working with her on stuff and seeing the way she responds to certain provocations, and when she does, when she is willing to try new things, and how I suggest the new things that makes it more likely that she'll respond favorably to it rather than just kind of like shut it down. And I have this example in my own life, and this kind of laboratory in my own life of the piano, where, oh man, a lifetime of habits, not so easy to break. It's not so easy to just stop doing what I've been, because it's not that I, Robin, in my highest conscious self, think I'm doing it right, but most of the rest of me does think I'm doing it right. So it's like I have this part of me that's like, I know something, this kind of like almost like an elevated perspective that's like, I know something needs to change here, and I know that there's room for improvement, and I know that what I'm doing must not be quite right because it's not quite giving me the result that I want to hear or feel. But the rest of my system, that is the part that's been programmed to play the piano since I was a kid, really kind of does think. These are the grooves I have built over the course of a lifetime. So that part of me does think I'm doing it right, and it's really confused why it keeps getting told to stop. So it's an interesting time, I guess is what I'm saying, because I'm relating to Annalise's learning in a new way. And I think this affirming the struggle is something I want to keep really kind of in mind, and for myself as well. We want to be able to affirm our own struggle, give ourselves the feedback that the struggle is the reward in many ways. I mean, the reward will come out of it, and it will feel great when we have this new skill or this new, capacity. But the struggle is really kind of that's where we're in it. That's where we're in the learning process, And if we affirm that, then we'll be there more and more, which can only lead to accelerated growth and kind of not just accelerated growth, but also a surrender to the fact that it's okay to feel that way, and a reminder that that's where the growth is really happening. So that's what I'm giving myself today. Affirming the struggle. Thanks for watching, folks. So much love. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.